hearing it?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so maximum power transfer theorem, I hope you have already gone through the video that I sent on your WhatsApp group, because it is a very simple theorem in which the maximum power transfer needs to be calculated. So today's lecture we will be talking about two theorems. One is maximum power transfer theorem, and another theorem is reciprocity theorem. We will try to cover both these theorems, but let's see if we have time to cover both these. Actually, I have given the derivation to you so that you can quickly go through the derivation, which is very easy in case of DC as well as AC. See, there are two different terms. One is max power transfer, and the another term is power delivered. Okay, so you need not to get confused between the two terms. There are two different terms. When you talk about power transfer basically takes place from one circuit to another circuit. Okay, so sometimes people say that what is the power delivered to the load. So power delivered to the load is a completely different statement as compared to the power transferred to the load. Okay, so the theorem we will be talking about will theorem which we are talking about is maximum power transfer theorem. That means it is not the delivered power, it is the transferred power. So you need to have two things clear in your mind, that we are talking about power transfer, not power delivered. Power delivered, there is no condition that load should be variable. However, as I told you earlier also in the WhatsApp chat, that the first condition or the only condition which is applicable before applying this theorem is that the load should be variable. If the load is not variable, this theorem cannot be applied. Okay. But first thing about this theorem is that you can write down, if you want, in your copy, that the first condition for applying the maximum power transfer theorem is that the load should be variable. Okay. Whatever kind of load it is, for DC, only resistive load will be there, and for the AC, RL load will be there. So in the RL load, either the R or L can be varied, or both can be varied. R or L can simultaneously be varied. So this theorem is applicable for both DC as well as AC circuits. And the other thing about this theorem is that when the maximum power transfer takes place in a circuit, the load resistance becomes equal to the resistance. Okay, just wait a minute. I have an important call. So important things about this theorem are that first thing is that the maximum power transfer can theorem can only be applied when the load is variable. And the second thing is that load should be variable as well as the efficiency which the circuit will be operating at the time of maximum power transfer. So in this form, diagram which is very easy for the maximum power transfer theorem. As you can see in the circuit, you have a source ES which is connected to a source resistance RS and a load resistance RL. Now, as you can see, I have marked it with a line showing that the load resistance is variable. Now, if the load resistance is variable, I can write down the current which is flowing in the circuit is I is equal to VS divided by RS plus RL. So the power which is consumed by the load will be I square RL. So I can write down VS square divided by RS plus RL whole square into RL. And if we differentiate this expression with respect to RL, because we are assuming that RL is variable, then we can get the condition for maximum power transfer is RL is equal to to RS or R thevenin. Okay, that means from the loads. Okay, and in this case, if you put RL is equal to RS in this equation 1, you will get the maximum power which can be transferred is Vs square divided by 4RL. Okay, so Vs square divided by 4RL. So efficiency at this point will be only 50%. Okay, as you can see that the RL and RS are both are equal, so the energy in the circuit it will be 50%. That means only 50% of power the load side delivered to the load side, but that is the maximum power to us in the delivered power that so one thing is getting uh, power transfer system equal. So this that the system is only 50%. Now, once we know that these things, with
Sir,
the
your voice is not clear.
voice is not clear. Let me see. Others, if my voice is coming,
No, no, sir, it's baking.
okay, let me connect it from some other source. Is it audible now? Is it clear? The voice is clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let me present my screen. Let's see if it is working or not. So I hope the screen is visible as well as I am audible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So when RL is equal to RS, the efficiency of the system is 50%. So my screen is visible. Are you seeing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let us quickly go towards the numerical problem. You can have your pen and paper for solving the numerical. So I'm just going to the numerical of this maximum power transfer theorem. So I was telling you that this uh, RL is equal to RS. So at this point, the efficiency is equal to 50%. Now, when RL is greater than RS, okay, the efficiency increases of the system and the efficiency is greater than 50%. But as you can see, the maximum power cannot be transferred at this point. And similarly, for this region, the region below the 50% efficiency, the RL is less than RS. So the efficiency of the system is less than 50%. Okay. So usually we don't go for maximum power transfer. Basically, to reduce losses in the system, we operate our system in this condition in which the load is much greater than the source. So because if we are going to transfer only the maximum power from one source to another, we are not going to get the maximum efficiency. Now let us, with this concept, we can try this numerical. Suppose you have a resistance of 100 ohm and you have a source of 20 volt and you have another resistance of 200 ohm and 50 ohm with a variable, uh, this kind of circuit is there. Okay. Let us suppose this voltage is VA and this voltage source is 20 volt. So the question here is to find the value of VA, find the value of VA so that maximum power is transferred from source to load. Find the value of VA so that maximum power is transferred from source to load. Okay, and the load is consisting of all these components. Okay, 200 ohm resistance is also a load, 50 ohm resistance is also a load, and VA is also a load. So practically you can see
Sir,
that
question is not
Sir,
visible.
your screen is spaced.
now it is visible.
Yes, sir.
You are getting the circuit. You are
Yes,
seeing the
sir.
circuit.
Yes.
Okay, so this is the problem which we are going to solve. Suppose you have a 20 volt source which is connected to a 100 ohm resistance, and there is a 200 ohm resistance connected in the shunt, and there is a 50 ohm resistance in series with the voltage another source VA. Okay, so this 200 ohm, 50 ohm, and VA constitute a load. These all three constitute a load. Now, what we want to find, that find the value of VA. We need to find the value of VA so that maximum power is transferred from source to load. Okay, so the maximum power is transferred from source to load. So as you can see, the source is having a voltage source of 20 volt. With its internal resistance RS, you can consider this resistance as RS or R Thevenin. Okay, and the value of R Thevenin is 100 ohm. Now the question here is, what is the value of this combined resistance 200 ohm in 50 ohm plus this source, and we have to find the value of VA so that maximum power is transferred from source side. So you can say this is source side, and from here where I have drawn the dotted line, this is the load side. So how to solve this problem? Any idea? We have to find the value of VA. How to find this value of VA? Anybody who can tell?
Sir, we can convert the battery from parallel combination to series combination.
You can convert the battery to what you are saying. So there is one
Series.
concept which is involved here. Yes, you are particular. So I have four options. Basically, this question was asked in your gate. This is I have taken from the gate material. So it was asked in gate 2010 and 11. So it was asked from the maximum power transfer concept. They have already told that the maximum power transfer theorem is applicable. Okay, that means the load, which is 200 ohm, 50 ohm, and this VA, 250 is fixed. That means this voltage VA can change. That's why the load becomes variable. Otherwise, if the load is fixed, then obviously we cannot change the resistance from the load side, and hence we cannot apply this theorem. So they have already told in the question that the maximum power transfer theorem is applicable. One thing is that. If they are not saying that this theorem is not applicable, then there is a confusion. So one thing is clear, that the first condition, the first foremost and important condition to see whether the load is variable or not, So they have already told in the question that yes, the maximum power transfer theorem can be applied. And now after telling this thing, they are asking that what is the value of VA. So there is an important concept which you should also put in your mind, that any battery, any DC battery which is having some voltage, 8 volt or something, can be represented for circuit from circuit point of view as a resistance having a voltage drop of 8. Okay, for solving purpose, for solving we can represent it, the voltage across it, through a resistance. Okay, so this can be done. So basically this is another theorem through which it can be done, and this theorem is popularly known as substitution theorem. uh, Substitution theorem. Okay, so substitution theorem can easily be applied in the linear circuits. That means if you have a circuit like this, in which you have a resistance and you have a voltage source and you have another voltage source. For example, this is 18 volt, this is 3 ohm, and this is 12 volt. So this circuit can also be represented as 3 ohm, 18 volt, 2 ohm, and 8 volt. Okay, showing that the 4 volt which is basically coming from the 12 volt is across this 2 ohm resistance, and the current multiplied by the 2 ohm resistance will equal to 4 volt. So 8 plus 4, the voltage here remains 12 volt. So this can also be done. So by applying this substitution theorem, can we solve this circuit? Can we solve this circuit? So we can replace, we can draw this circuit again. Okay, it is a little bit tricky. So we can draw this circuit again. So it becomes very easy then. 100 ohm, and we have a 20 volt source, and you have a 200 ohm resistance, and this is a 50 ohm as given in the question. And we are representing the VA, the uh, voltage across resistance RA. So basically this was given in the question VA. We have not changed the circuit conditions. We have just changed the representation. We are saying that VA drop is across a resistance such that the current which is flowing in this part, this current which is flowing in this branch I into RA is equal to V. So that's why we have converted our circuit into a purely resistive circuit. Okay, by depicting that this is the voltage across this resistance by with the help of substitution theorem. Okay, so now 50 ohm comes in series with RA, which is in parallel with the 2 ohm resistance, and this is the now the load side. This is now the load side. So obviously, if VA is changing, then RA can also change. So that means in other words, we can say that the theorem is applicable to this. Now you have 20 volt source, you have 100 ohm resistance, and you have a parallel combination of both these circuits. Now can you tell how to solve it? Can you now try to get the value of VA? Anybody? Can you try to get the value of VA? You have four options for that. VA, uh, let me give you four options. The first option here is VA is 7.5 volt, B is 10 volt, C is 15 volt, and D is 0 volt. So it's now this question is very simple now. Just you have to calculate the R equivalent E, and the R equivalent L will be 200 into 50 plus R divided by 200 plus 50 plus. So as you can see, the net combination of the resistance on the load side becomes 50 plus R, or RA, I should write, in parallel with the 2 ohm resistance. So that total resistance in the circuit should be equal to the 100 ohm. Okay, that is the case. So now can you calculate the value of RA? RA will come out to be equal to RA will be come out to be equal to RA will come out to be equal to 150 ohm. 150 ohm is coming. Are you getting 150 ohm? Anybody who is getting 150 ohm? Now, once you calculate RA, you can quickly calculate the current in the branch. This current I, that will be equal to 20 resistors, that is the correct option here is 7.5 volt. Okay, so this way you can quickly change your circuit and solve the question. Should I explain it again? Should I explain it again, or it is clear? What answer you are getting? Please tell. You can write in chat box whatever answer you are getting. For the same circuit, please tell what answer you are getting. Have you solved it? Okay, Samar, your answer is correct. It is 7.5 volt. You have correctly calculated it as 7.5 volt. Okay, Musharraf, I am telling you again, if you see the circuit once again, what we need to do if that this was the circuit. Okay, you have a 20 volt source with a 100 ohm resistance, and there is another load circuit. So the load circuit was consisting of 200 ohm resistance, 50 ohm resistance, and a DC voltage source of VA. Now, the question I'm asking, what is the value of VA so that the maximum power is transferred from source side to the load side? That is the question. So what we have done, we have changed this VA through a substitution theorem into a resistance such that the voltage across this resistance remains same as VA. Okay, the voltage across this resistance remains same as VA. So by doing that, we have converted a source into a resistance so that we can algebraically add it with the other resistance of 50 ohm. Now we have changed the circuit like this. We have a 50 ohm resistance which are with another resistance RA. So 50 plus RA will be a load of this branch, which will be in parallel combination of 200 ohm resistance. Okay. Now, once you know about this, total 100 ohm resistance, that means the total resistance, which is this circuit, that is 200 ohm in parallel with 50 plus RA, should also be equal to 100. Now, this is 100 and this is 100. So the total current can be find out which is flowing in the circuit. When the total current is find out in the circuit, that total current is divided into two halves. Some of the current will go here, that is, and some of the current will go here. So that will be current can be calculated, and when that current can be calculated, we can multiply that current with the resistance RA, which we already know is 150 ohm, to get the voltage VA. That will come out to be 7.5 volt. So that is the question. Now it is clear. Now you tell me whether you are getting 7.5 or not. It's very easy. Very easily you can calculate this question now. 7.5 volt. Total current will be total current you can calculate in the system. Now once you know that the total resistance RL is equal to RS is equal to 100 ohm. So once you know this total resistance is 100 ohm, okay, you can quickly say that this circuit is like this. You have another source 100 ohm resistance with a 20 volt source, and the total resistance of the circuit, this total resistance is also 100 ohm. Now this 100 ohm is a combination of resistances 200, 50 and RA. Okay. So this whole combination is also 100 because RA is 150. We have calculated. So 150 plus 50 is 200. 200 in parallel with 200 is 100. So net current which is flowing in the circuit is 20 divided by 100 plus 100. That is equal to 220 divided by 200. So it will become 1 by 10 ampere or 0.1 ampere. Now this 0.1 ampere is flowing here. 0.1 ampere is flowing here, and when it will go into this circuit, this 0.1 ampere is the total current. Okay, so half of this current will go into this 0.1 by 2, and half of the current will go into this 0.1 by 2. Okay, so what will be the total VA value? VA will be equal to I times RA. So I will be what? 0.1 by 2, and what is RA? RA is 150 ohm. So it will be 75. 75 into 0.1 is 7.5 volt. I hope this question is clear to you. Okay. So many I have solved now. So all of you should be getting 7.5 volt. Okay. So this way, there is another question which I have given in the video, that is the solved example of maximum power transfer theorem. Basically, that question was asked in GATE 2012, in which there is a capacitor also. Okay, so that is the theorem which is applicable for AC circuits. Okay, so for the AC circuits, the maximum power transfer theorem for AC circuits is this theorem is also applicable for AC circuits, but we don't always transfer the maximum power transfer through AC. So in the case of AC, for AC, circuits. RL, if the AC circuits, the theorem will look like this. Suppose you have a source and you have an impedance. So that will be the source impedance ZTH, that will be equal to RTH plus J times XTH, and there will be a load resistance, okay, ZL. So ZL will be equal to RL plus J times XL. Okay. So similarly, you can also calculate what are the conditions for maximum power transfer theorem. So there will be three cases. Case one will be both RL and XL are variable. That means you can change both RL as well as XL. So in this case, the condition for maximum power transfer theorem will be that ZL will be equal to the conjugate of Z Thevenin. Okay, so that means RL plus J times XL will be equal to RTH minus J times XTH. And the maximum power transfer theorem will be same because the maximum power is related only to the resistance part. So the maximum power which can be transferred will be V Thevenin square divided by 4 RL. So efficiency will be same, that will be equal to 50%. Okay, this is the first case. So second case only load resistance is variable. Only load resistance is variable. So only if load resistance is variable, you need to differentiate the expression for power with respect to RL only. So you will get the expressions RL is equal to under root of R Thevenin square plus XL plus X Thevenin square. Okay. The efficiency in this case will be greater than 50%. Efficiency will be greater than 50%. Okay. And the case 3 will be RL is variable. Here in case 2, RL is variable, but XL is equal to constant. That means the value of L is not changing. So RL is variable. The third case, but XL is 0. That means the load reactance is 0. Okay, so the maximum power condition for the maximum power transfer theorem here is that RL is equal to under root of R Thevenin square plus X Thevenin square. That means RL is equal to the magnitude of Z Thevenin, and in this case, the efficiency is also greater than 50%. Okay. So wherever you will find the AC case, it is slightly difficult than typical than the DC case. You have to differentiate the expression for maximum power transfer by first calculating the AC current. Okay. In this case, for example, if you calculate the AC current, that will equal to be I is equal to, that will be, if this is V Thevenin, this is an AC source, so I will be V Thevenin divided by under root of R Thevenin plus RL whole square plus X Thevenin plus XL whole square. So that will be the current which is flowing in the AC circuit. So as you know that the power will be dissipated only in the resistance part. So PL will be equal to I square times RL. Now I here in this case will be this expression VTH divided by under root of RTH plus RL ka whole square plus XTH plus XL divided by the whole square. So that will be the net expression. So PL in the case of AC circuits can be written as V Thevenin square into RL divided by RL plus R Thevenin square plus XL plus X Thevenin square. Okay, so this is the expression which we are differentiating. If in the case 1, RL and XL are variable, so you need to differentiate this expression once with respect to RL, okay, and another time with respect to L. XL. So you will get this condition that the load, which is RL plus JXL, should be equal to the conjugate of source. The second case, only RL is variable and XL is constant. You need to differentiate this equation, PL equation, equation 1, with respect to RL and equate it to 0%. So you will find that RL in this case is coming out to be R Thevenin square plus XL plus X Thevenin square. So RL here is greater than R Thevenin, and that's why the efficiency is greater than 50%. So in the case of AC, only the efficiency is greater than 50% in both the cases, when RL is variable and XL is constant, as well as when RL is variable and XL is zero. Because in those all these cases, RL is coming out to be greater than R Thevenin. And when RL is coming out to be greater than R Thevenin, because the power loss only takes place in the resistance part, you will get a higher efficiency. So always remember, if the load resistance is coming out to be greater than the source resistance, the efficiency of the circuit will be high, and that you usually see in a circuit that the load resistance are much greater than source resistance. Otherwise, the power loss will take place in source resistance and the efficiency of the circuit will be poorer. Okay, so in the maximum power transfer theorem, we always assume that source has a resistance and we try to make load resistance equal to the source resistance. Okay, so that is not generally done. Power transfer theorem are usually done in applications in which power transferred is very small, as in the case of electronic circuits, in which efficiency does not matter much. Okay, but in electrical circuits, in transmission lines, in two-port networks, in transformers, we don't apply this theorem, this concept, in which the load resistance is made to the source resistance. Because in electrical circuits, usually the source resistance are negligible as compared to the load resistance, and in most of the situations, the load resistance cannot be and should not be made be equal to the source resistance. However, in electronic circuits, if the load resistance, which are the load in the case of electronic circuits, the loads are various transistors. You have seen, okay, you are not studying the digital electronics. You will be studying in your next sem, I think. Then you will see that mostly the loads are the MOSFETs and BJTs, and they are connected in hybrid connection. And so in the case of electronic circuit, there is not much difference between the load and source. Okay, the load and source resistance are comparable to each other. So if load and source resistance are comparable to each other, then you can make the load resistance equal to the source resistance, and then you can transfer the maximum power, and the efficiency will be 50%, but the efficiency will not matter much in if the power is very small and the power loss is also very small. So 50% efficiency means your 50% power is lost. Okay, 80% efficiency means 20% power is lost. So there is a paradox between the efficiency and the maximum power transfer. That is, I am telling you that there is a difference between the maximum power transfer and the maximum power delivered. Okay, have you understood till now? Any confusion till now? If you have any questions, you can ask. Okay, so this much from my side for maximum power transfer. In the next meeting, we will go through the reciprocity theorem. There was some glitch in the internet today. That's why we lost some time. Otherwise, the reciprocity theorem we would have covered today only. Okay. Any questions from your side? Anything which you would like to ask on maximum power transfer? Otherwise, you can leave.